Namaste, this is Sheri. So let's come to a comfortable seat on your mat. Any comfortable seat will do. Hero cross-legged. Just get kind of comfortable. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit on your sit bones. Just kind of feeling yourself grounding into the earth here. So we're going to bring the energy of the universe, the life force energy called Prana, into our bodies. So this energy will help nourish us. It'll help energize us. It'll help relax us. So just kind of notice as you're flowing, just what you're feeling. Try to stay aware, to be present. And I think you'll reap some really beautiful benefits from your practice today. I hope so, anyway. Okay. So, let your eyes gently close now, or maybe keep them just softly half open, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. I'm not going to be moving or doing anything that you have to see right now. This is about inward focusing. And just notice your normal breath. So this is just your natural inflow and outflow. No need to control or manipulate it. Just notice. As you turn your attention to your breath, perhaps you notice your body as well, any sensations. So your physical body, maybe your emotional body, whatever you're feeling. Maybe thoughts running through your mind. And then once more, draw that attention to the breath. So we try not to attach to any thought or sensation. Just notice. Let your sit bones ground into the earth. So lift through the spine, maybe rolling your shoulders back a little bit, relaxing them down the back, allowing some space for the heart to lift and open. Connect to that inner core as you ground with your sit bones down to the earth, and let the crown of the head reach for the sky. Stay connected to that strong inner core as you relax your body around it. Feel as though you're being held from within. Now bring your attention back to your breath if you've lost that for a moment. And let's deepen our breath now with some Durga breath, yogic, 3-part breath. So we do this breath in and out through our nose as much as possible. So start by taking a nice deep inhale through your nose. Filling your belly with this beautiful breath as though it's expanding here. And then exhaling, pouring that breath out through your nose, drawing that belly in, maybe the navel toward the spine, squeezing out that last bit of breath, and let that inhale come effortlessly. Nice deep inhale, filling up, exhale, emptying out. So you can draw this breath out longer and stronger, maybe 2 or 3 times longer than your normal breath. You can take a pause at the top of the inhale, just retaining that breath for a moment. And as you exhale slowly, at the bottom of the exhale, perhaps another pause. So find the rhythm of your breath. This is the breath that's the foundation of your practice. The breath you can always come back to whenever you're feeling uncomfortable or you've lost your focus. So let your mind be an anchor, or let your breath be an anchor for your mind. So as the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. Good. It's a place you can come back to every time, again and again. can open your eyes now if they're closed. And maybe bring your hands to the tops of your knees or your shins and start to round the spine a little. Drawing your chin toward your chest, leaning back slightly. So a seated cat pose. Inhale, rise back up. And as you do, soften the shoulders, lift the heart, maybe lift the chin. And then again, just rounding in, curling that spine, pressing back through the hips. And inhale, pressing forward, lifting. One more time like that. Into that seated cat and up into that cow pose. And then allow the spine to come naturally strong here. Reach those arms up to the sky. Good. Stretch through the fingers. Maybe turn the wrists. Circle them if you like. Change directions. And then hold one opposite elbows here. And take a little side bend over to your right. Now if you wish here, you can release that right hand down to the floor or onto a block. You can walk the fingertips out. You can reach that left arm up or over your head. And if you like a little support, you can walk that right hand back in so the elbow comes toward the side ribs for a little support here. Getting that nice side stretch, keeping that left hip bone down, left sit bone grounded. Inhale, come all the way back up, reach it up. Good. Elbow to elbow or hands to elbow. I'll get that right. Good. Take that side bend over to your left. And once more, if you wish, you can release the left hand down. Right arm can reach up to the sky, overhead. Fingers can walk out or elbows close in. Just find the position that feels best for you. See where you can go. So go to your edge. Go to that place where you get the most benefit from the pose. So never overdoing it, but allowing yourself to challenge yourself with compassion. Come back through center, reach it up. Good. Let's bring those hands back again to the elbows. Take a little twist to your right. And here, if you like, if you're feeling more open, you can take that left hand to the thigh, right hand behind the hip, sitting nice and tall, turning your chin toward that right shoulder. Twists are so wonderful for those inner organs, like squeezing up a sponge. Inhale, come back to center, reach the arms up, getting nice and long in the spine. Hands to elbows, take that twist to your left. And that might be where you want to be. Or you can release that right hand to the left thigh and take that left hand behind the hip. Fingers can point away. Relaxing the shoulder, drawing it back. Breathing over that left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, reach up. Let's bring those hands behind our hips. So fingers pointing toward or away, if you prefer. Roll those shoulders back, lift the heart. Get a little back bend. So if your feet are crossed, press into the outside edges of the feet, the pinky side. And if you wish, lift the hips up and find just a little more space. Exhale, come down. Inhale, reach up. Now let's fold forward. So come forward, hands can reach forward. Come with a nice long spine. You can lower the hands onto a block if you have one handy. You can round just a bit as your chin comes toward the chest, but really hinging from the hips here. Walk your hands out as far as you like. You can keep the elbows lifted, lowering the head onto the mat or onto a block. Just a nice forward fold. Let's come up again. Let's change the cross of the legs if they're crossed. You might be in hero, which is fine too. Inhale, reach up. Let's take that little heart opener first. Hands behind you. Good. Drawing shoulder blades together. Stay right here if you like, or press into the edges of the feet. Lift the hips and bum. Breathing here. Lower down. Good. Now let's take that forward fold. Reach it up. Come forward. And lower down to wherever you like. Good. Couple breaths. Forward folds are a good place to notice your breath, to deepen it, to strengthen it, and let it strengthen you. And then walk your hands back. Now you can roll over your crossed ankles or roll onto one side as we come into table pose, hands and knees. So taking those fingers nice and wide. Toes can stay curled under, or you can flatten your feet. Fingers are nice and wide. You're pressing a bit more into the thumb and index finger pads. Take a little pressure off of your wrists here. You can just isometrically turn the wrists in a little bit so that the eyes of the elbows face each other or come in that direction. Let's start some cats and cows here. So inhale, tailbone lifts, belly dips. Maybe the chin lifts as you gaze forward. Exhale, rounding the back, coming into that cat pose, pressing the floor away from you. Inhale into the cow again. Now, if it's too much compression to the spine to lift the tail a lot, just come to a neutral spine. Just take it where you need to be. And back into your cat. And just take a couple more like that. Just find your flow. Move with your breath. Might feel really good here. Just noticing, always noticing. After your next cat, come back to that neutral spine. Stretch that right foot behind you on the mat. Let me walk myself up a little. Good. So you're on the ball of your foot. Belly's pulled in nice and firmly, gentle toning. Lift that, right leg up, toe pointing down. Bend that knee and let the foot reach for the sky. So maybe lifting that thigh a little here. And then take that right heel toward your bum. You can point your toe now and cross that right knee behind that left shin, little curtsy twist. Gazing over that left shoulder, you can also stretch that right foot out onto the floor ball of your foot. Come back to center. Bend that knee again. And now bend that knee in towards your nose or up into your chest. Stretch it out again. And lower down. Reset your knees if you need to. Knees are under the hips. Wrists are under the shoulders. Stretch that left foot to the back of the mat. Good. So really feeling the ball of the foot. Stretch the arch, the calf, lifting up, bend that knee, lift it up a little perhaps, point the toe, and take this little curtsy twist here, bringing that left knee behind the right, gazing over the right shoulder, perhaps stepping that foot back, the ball of your foot, gazing over the right shoulder. Good. Come on back. Toe points down. Bend that knee again. Lift up. Draw the heel in toward your bum. And then draw that knee in toward your nose. Good. Stretch it back out. And lower down. Good. Rock from side to side here. Maybe circle the hips around. Just kind of move any way that feels good to you. Just loosening up here. You can walk your hands forward a little bit and come forward into a baby cobra, letting the hips drop. Back into a child's pose, stretching that long spine. Hips toward heels. Come back up. So you can roll from side to side. For the next few breaths, just do what feels good to you. So just kind of make this your own. Rocking, rolling, circling. If it's too much for your wrists here, you can come off the wrists, shake them out, circle perhaps. Anytime it feels like too much. Just do what feels right. So this is your practice. That's right. Good. And then let's bring the hands back down. Again, fingers spread wide. Curl your toes under. Let's just lift the knees a couple inches off the earth. So to do that, really engage those belly muscles. Draw them in. Lower back down. Good. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, lower down. Good. Take some core strength here. One more time. Lift up. This time, let's come all the way up into downward facing dog, straightening the legs. Pressing back to the heels. Adjust your hands to the comfort level. So if you have any shoulder issues, hands can be wider apart from each other. You can shorten your dog. You can make it longer, wider. Good. Let that chest drop. Heart melting toward the thighs. Press down and forward with your hands. Good. You can walk the dog. Bend one knee, then the other, drawing opposite heels toward the back of the mat. Here too, you can roll from side to side. Make this your own. So take a couple breaths. You can rotate into a plank pose and back into down dog. You can lower the knees. You can draw those hips back. Come back through table. Little cobra, table and down dog. Take a few more breaths. Kind of playing with your dog. Wag your tail. So really press back through the heels now. Down through the hands. On the inhale, come up on your tiptoes. Exhale, soften your knees, step or float to the top of your mat. And at the top of your mat, let's come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, soften your knees, Uttanasana, forward fold. So you can hold opposite elbows and sway the spine. You can hold, take a bind behind your legs. You can let your hands come to the mat or blocks. Keeping your hips lifted, your heart melting toward your thighs here. Your head's heavy, your neck's relaxed. Keep the bend in the knees just as much as you need to. You can be pretty substantial here if you like. You can bring your chest almost all the way onto your thighs. On your next inhale, let's root down really into the feet and rise all the way up to standing. Good. Top of your mat. Bring your hands together, down to your heart center. Take them alongside you. Tadasana, our mountain pose. So really big, powerful pose here. So let's get rooted. Let's first lift and spread the toes and then place them back on the mat. Roll your shoulders back, maybe a time or two. Take them in the opposite direction. Bring your hands alongside. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Good. Knees are a little soft. Gentle toning to the belly. Tailbone reaches down. Eyes can close for a moment. enjoying the powerful grounding of this pose. We've got all that energy flowing through. Now we come to stillness for a few moments. See what you notice. On your next inhale, reach those arms all the way up. So let's hold elbow to elbow again and take a side bend over to our right. Inhale, come on back up. Really release those arms and reach them up. And then let's take a side bend over to your left. Come on back up through center. Reach up again and fold all the way forward. So hinging from your hips. Good. Now keep your hands down. You might like a block here at the top of your mat. We're going to take a standing split. So rooting down into that right foot, let's lift that left foot behind us. You can always keep it right on the mat. Or lift it up. Lift it as high as you like, drawing the chest down. You can also bend the knee if you wish to reach for the foot. Take a bind. And then step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Nice, strong leg. You're on the ball, that back foot. This is your runner's lunge. You can keep your hands on blocks or bring them down to the mat. Your knees stacking over the ankle or slightly behind. Let's take a twist here. Let's keep that left hand rooted and reach that right arm up. You can draw that hand behind your back or bring it to your hip. So it's all about the twist. Rotating those ribs up and up. Lower the hand back to your runner's lunge. Now let's lower that left knee down. Good. Foot can flatten or can stay with it curled under. So make sure you're not directly on the kneecap. You might want to scoot that knee back. You might want a blanket underneath. Good. Rise up. Good. Hands can stay right where they are on top of the right thigh. You might lift one arm and then the other. Good. Bring the hands together. Lace the fingers. Spin those palms up to the sky. Maybe take a little back bend here. And then bring those hands in front of the heart. We'll take a prayer twist now. Bring that left elbow across the right thigh, pressing palms together. Another variation is to make a soft fist with that left hand covering it with the right hand. Or you might even take that right hand back behind you, lower that left hand. So it's all about the twist here. Good. Inhale, come back up through center. Lower the hands inside that right foot. Now let's walk them out to the left. And start to lower yourself down here. So now we're getting that nice hip opener for the right hip, but we're also getting a side stretch. Block can be handy here as well, or pillow. You can rest your forearms here. You can rest your head. Take about 3 or 4 nice breaths here, opening up that body. Notice how it feels. At any time, if it's too intense, you can rise back up. And then let's all straighten those elbows, come on back up. Bring your hands to walk around that right foot again. And now we're going to start to straighten that right leg. So you can slide it forward, a seated half split. You can come up on the heel, reaching the toes up. You can use a block if you like, or cushion underneath the shin. You can stand tall on your knee. You can lower down. You can rock yourself forward a little bit, lowering the chest toward the thigh, the head nice and relaxed. You can take this a little bit in a different direction. You can start to walk it forward a little more. You can use your hands here. You can even use this block underneath your right hip to sit back on the hip and fold over here. Or remove the block and sit all the way onto your heel with the left hip. So this is really a nice stretch here, and I want to invite you to just go wherever feels best. So see if you can let go of something here. Maybe it's a little bit of ego. Maybe it's a little doubt. Inhale, rise back up, bending that right knee. Curl the toes of the left foot under, come back into that runner's lunge, and then walk your hands over to the left, facing the wide edge of your mat now. All 10 toes are pointing forward. A little softness in the knee. Let's start to bring the hands down to the mat, or once more onto blocks. I only have one block here today, but perhaps you line up your 10 fingers with your 10 toes, bending the elbows back, lifting the hips, lowering the head. It might come all the way onto the mat or onto a block, or maybe you take a tripod here or headstand. Just relax a little bit. You can shake your head, release any tension in the neck. Rise back up on your fingertips. Turn that right foot back toward the front of your mat. Walk your hands forward. Step back to plank. Nice strong body. Gentle toning in the belly again. You can take a vinyasa here, or come right into your down dog. So you can come down all the way, leading with your heart. You can lower the knees. This is what I like to do. Bring the chest and chin down. Roll forward. Come into a back bend. Feet are flat. Now this can be a sphinx pose with your forearms on the earth. You can bring your hands underneath your shoulders for cobra. You can even lift the hands up a little if you like. And then press yourself back through table. Maybe you take a break in child's pose, bringing hips toward heels. And then come all the way up into down dog. And just get a feel for what it's like here this time around. Maybe change it up a little bit. It's all up to you. 3 to 5 breaths here. On your next inhale, up on the toes, exhale, step or float to the top of your mat. Come halfway out, Ardha Uttanasana, fold over soft knees. Inhale, rooting into the feet, rising up. Good. Get that nice stretch. Palms come together overhead, slide down in front of your heart. Let's take another side bend here. Let's reach those arms up. This time, let's take hold of that left wrist. Turn the hand up toward the sky. Take a side bend over to your right. You can kind of travel that left hip out a little if you like. Inhale, come back to center, release, stretch. Stretch the right arm up, take your left hand to the right wrist. Turn that right hand up to the sky, stretch overhead, over to the left. Inhale back to center. And swan dive forward. This time we root into that left foot and take that right foot up to the sky. So be your standing split. So make it yours. If you don't feel very balanced, you can always tap the toe down. And then let's stretch that right foot to the back of the mat. Find that runner's lunge. Good. You can be up on your fingertips, up on blocks. Make sure that knee is not in front of the toe. Keeping that right hand planted now, let's lift that left arm up for the twist. Beautiful. Maybe taking it behind your back, rotating the rib cage up toward the sky, reach up. Lower the hand, let's lower that right knee. Once more, cushion is fine underneath our blanket, if you like. Inhale, hands can come to the thighs, they can stay there, or reach up. Let the shoulders relax. Find your breath. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. We'll take that prayer twist now. So right elbow comes over left thigh. Again, any variation, soft fist below, or taking that left hand either to your hip or behind you. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Bring the hands inside that left foot. Walk your hands now out to the right. And start to lower that torso down. Notice if it feels any different on this side. You can always rest your arms on a block or your head. Inhale, start to rise back up. And now we're starting to straighten that left leg for our seated half split. If a full split's in your practice, please feel free. So, any variation, bringing the right hip back toward the right heel. Toe can point down, point up. You can stay nice and tall. You'll get more of a stretch as you fold forward, so just go where you need to go. Remember, you can always use a block under the thigh, under your hip. Beautiful hamstring stretch. Lengthening, strengthening. Inhale. Remove the block if you're using it. Start to bend that left knee. Curl the toes of the right foot under. Come back into that runner's lunge. And let's take that wide-legged forward fold. Walk your hands to the right. All 10 toes facing the mat, side of the mat. Good. Softness in the knees. This time perhaps you take your peace fingers and your thumb, wrap them around your big toe, let those elbows fan out. Just an option. You can take another bind if you like, holding the shins, bringing the hands to the small of your back, Interlacing your fingers, opening up the shoulders. And bring the hands back. Come up on the fingertips. Turn the left foot to the front of the mat. This time let's just step back, lower the knees down, take them wide, draw the big toes together. Sit the hips back, come into your child's pose. Arms can reach forward, you can lift the elbows, coming onto the fingertips. Or lower the arms, you can bring them back alongside your heels. So child's pose, stay in it a few more breaths. It's a pose of repose. So this is where you can find that breath again if it's become short or you lost focus. It's a place you can always come to. When you're ready, gently lift your head and heart. Come back through table into down dog. Good, walk it out if you like. And then inhale that right leg up behind you. Good, bend the knee and roll the hip open. Press down to that left foot. And then bring that right knee in toward that left elbow. Maybe give it a kiss. Lift back up. Again, open up. Knee toward left elbow, hover, lift and open. One last time. Bringing it in toward the elbow. Lift it behind you. Three-legged dog. Step that right foot between your hands. Pivot and plant the back foot. I'm going to rise up into a warrior one. So hips, belly, reach toward the front of the mat. You can walk the feet a little wider apart from each other for more stability if you like. And just peek down at that right knee, make sure it's not leaning in or out. In the direction of toe 2 and 3, reach those arms up. Relax the shoulders. Beautiful. From here, lace the fingers, spin the palms up, get nice and tall. Lower body rooting down, maybe scissor the legs toward each other, creating an energetic field here. Release the arms and open the hips into your warrior two. Good. So just adjusting that back foot, a little more parallel to the back of the mat, keeping that nice bend in that right knee. Turn the palms up for a moment, turn them back down, turning your gaze toward maybe that middle finger of the right hand. Inhale, let's reverse that warrior. Bring that right arm up, left arm down the leg or wraps behind you. On the exhale, plant that right forearm onto that right thigh. Roll that left shoulder back. Lift that arm up. Maybe take it overhead. Maybe gaze up at the palm. Use that core strength, come all the way back up to that reverse warrior. And let's make it a little bit of a flow. Back into that extended side angle. Stretching up, opening up, reverse warrior, and extended side angle. This time in your extended side angle, if you like, take that right hand off the thigh. Reach both hands up. Good. Inhale, rise all the way up back to warrior two. Turn the palms away from you. Good. And bring that left hand to meet the right. And then draw back and open up like a bow and arrow, an archer. And boom, out. One more time. Draw palms together, elbow back, open up. Nice. And let's just slide in, do a triangle here. So if you have your block handy, you might want to place it inside that right foot and reach that left arm up. So attempting to stack shoulder over shoulder, keeping just a little softness in that right leg, that right knee. Maybe just turning the gaze up. That's okay for your neck. If not, forward or down. Good. So press into that right foot and shin, taking a little pressure off the knee. Good. Looks great. Soften into the right knee. Lower the hands. Step back to plank. And find your way back to down dog, however you like to get there. Once there, take a breath or two. Walk it out if you like. When you're ready, lift that left leg up on an inhale. Open up here, so bend that knee. Roll the hip open, pressing down into that right heel. And then bring that knee forward and over to that right elbow. Inhale, lift up and open. Exhale, left knee toward right elbow. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, last time. Left elbow to right knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Oops. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Runner's lunge. Let's take that dragonfly twist now. So right hand stays low, left hand either to the hip, all the way up to the sky, or behind the back. And just finding the expression of the pose that works for you best. And it might be something different than the last time you were in the pose. So just go with what's happening right now. Lower that hand, lower that right knee down. So set it up so you're not directly on the kneecap. Inhale, lift up. Kneeling warrior. Find your balance here. Hands come together in front of the heart. Let's take that right elbow. Oh wait, that is not what I want to do here, is it? Let's come back. Okay, sorry about all that. Okay, so lifting that. Okay, sorry. Come back to your down dog. Okay. After that, left knee comes to the right elbow. Let's lift up again. Step it between the hands. Pivot and plant the back foot. Warrior one. I'm sure you guys already knew that. Okay. Good. Again, just set that knee. Maybe stacked over the ankle or slightly behind. Getting a nice solid footing here. Beautiful. Reaching up through the arms and opening up into your warrior two. Oh dear. Good. Stretching out. Turn those palms up. Feel the shoulder blades draw together down the back. And once more, hands facing down to the earth. On your inhale, turn the left palm up. Reverse that warrior. Right hand down the thigh or behind the back. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm on thigh. Right arm reaches up and perhaps overhead. Inhale back to that reverse warrior. So really using that core strength here. And back to the extended side angle. And reverse warrior. Last time in the extended side angle. Chest lifts and opens. Back to the warrior two. Start to straighten that left leg now. So we'll tip into the triangle here. No, we won't. We'll go into warrior two. We'll turn the palms away. Sorry, guys. We'll bring that right hand to meet the left. Pull back and open. Touch palms, elbow back, open out. Palms, press back, open. One more time. And open. Now, straighten that left leg. Start to reach forward with that left arm. And just rotate the arm so you're attempting to stack shoulder over shoulder here. Or bring that right arm perhaps to your shoulder, behind your back. You can even take it overhead. A block also can work here inside of the foot. So we never want to hyperextend that knee. So always keep a little bit of softness. And soften the knee. And find your way back to down dog. Take a vinyasa, however you want to get here. And then let's lower the knees down. Good. Inhale and reach up. Let's take a T-twist. Bring that right arm forward, left arm back. And then turn that right palm up. Bring that left hand either to the small of your back or reach down for your heel. And you can also curl the toe of that left foot under. Or even reach for the right heel. So just whatever kind of twist you like here. Ardha Ustrasana, our half camel. Come back through, reach, come back up through center. Take a T-twist to the other side. Right hand reaches back, left hand forward. And turn it into half camel. So left arm reaches up. Right hand either to the small of your back, down your thigh, toward your heel, or your opposite heel. Come all the way back up. And let's take a child's pose. So a really nice counter pose after those camel back bends. If you like, you can walk your hands to one side, stretching through the side body. Walk them to the other side. Coming back through center. Back up through table and back to down dog. One more flow here. Let's inhale that right leg up. Step it between the hands. Plant your back foot. Come up to warrior one. So get nice and rooted. And then let's pivot off that left heel, coming to the ball of the right foot. And sinking into that crescent warrior. So a little more balance here. And breathe. Beautiful. From here, bring your right arm forward, left arm back, a revolve twist. Keep bending nicely into that right knee for stability. And then let's revolve reverse. You can always lower that back heel if it gets a little too wobbly for you, but wobbly's good. And then let's lower the hands around that right foot. And here's an option for balance. Either come into a standing split again, or bring that right hand slightly diagonally in front of the foot. Find a half moon pose. You can use a block here too. So we attempt to stack the hip over hip. Flexing that foot is nice. Strong standing leg. Reaching up. Good. And lower the hand and the foot, step it back. And come either right into down dog, take a vinyasa. When you're ready, lift that left leg up and step it between the hands. Plant your back foot, find that warrior one. Nice and steady here. Shoulders relaxed, arms reaching up. Let's spin off that right heel now, sinking a little deeper for your crescent warrior. It's okay if you're a little shaky. Take that right hand forward, left arm back. Did I do that before? And revolve, reverse. Good. Okay. Good. And from here, standing into that strong left leg, let's find a balance. So, can do that half moon pose, standing split. Flexing that top foot. Exhale. Step it back. Step both feet back. Lower the knees. And let's come to seated. Okay. So take a moment to see how you feel. Relax. Maybe turn the ear toward the shoulder from side to side. Any comfortable seat here. Chin toward chest. You're lifting the chin, maybe tilting back a little. Chin to chest. Lifting the chin. Coming back to center. Let's take those legs out in front. And flex those feet. So press into the calves, into the heels, as much as your leg into the mat as you can. Take the shoulders back a little. Let's reach those arms all the way up. And start to hinge forward. So nice long spine. Arms can be alongside the ears until you decide you've come to a place to rest the hands. And this might be your first stopping point. Draw the belly in. Maybe you can go a little farther. Maybe there's a little more space to create. Maybe you've already gone to your edge, so maybe you need to back off a little. So take a few moments here, Paschimottanasana. Inhale. Come on back up. Let's bring the right sole of the foot somewhere inside the left thigh, or if you like, farther down. Here too. You can always rest the knee on a block or a cushion. Gently coax it down. Let's turn slightly toward that right knee and bring that left hand somewhere on or inside the right leg. So that right hand can come behind your back to encourage you to open up. And then perhaps it lifts up and overhead, reaching for the foot. Not so important to actually touch the foot, but just to get in that direction, to keep open here. Inhale, come on back up. Good. Let's just switch sides. So let's bring that left foot somewhere inside that right thigh. Turn towards your left foot, or your left knee rather. Bring that right arm somewhere inside the leg, on top, outside, or even reaching for your toe, flexing that foot. Let's take that left arm behind your back so you can roll the shoulder open, then lift the arm, take it overhead. Reaching in the direction of that toe, keeping the rib cage lifted. Inhale, come on back up. Beautiful. Let's take both soles of the feet together now. Baddha Konasana. Maybe rock from side to side. Perhaps flapping your butterfly wings. So we'll make this a forward fold. So you can come with your feet as close in as you can and come forward from the hips here. Or if you choose, you can take your feet a little wider out into a diamond shape and bring your hands under the shins, palms face up. Come forward from here, maybe holding onto the toes, letting the head come down. Inhale, slowly rise back up. Let's bring our knees together. Take a boat pose, Navasana. So feet can always stay on the earth. We want a nice little tilt here. Just leaning back, keeping that spine nice and long. So we don't want to round in here. We want to stay as long as we can. You might come up on your tiptoes first. You might lift one leg only, or both legs. Knees can stay bent. You can hold on underneath. You can even come all the way down onto your forearms if that makes you feel more steady. Sure to challenge yourself a little, but with kindness. So here we might lift the arms, straighten the legs as much as you can. Keeping that nice tilt here. Maybe come down halfway. Reaching forward with the hand. Come back up. Bend those knees. Plant your feet. Bring your hands behind the hips. Fingers pointing toward your heels. Roll those shoulders back. Feet nice and firmly planted. Lift the hips now. Maybe a gentle squeeze to the bum. Maybe the head tilts back a little bit. Exhale, lower down. Give your knees a squeeze, hug in. Lower your head, maybe shake from side to side. And then lower yourself all the way onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Uttanasana. And maybe rock and roll from side to side. If you like a little core strengthener, you might lift your head up and back down. Maybe bring knees in, head up, and down. Only if this is okay for your neck. You can also do this holding behind your head. Just gentle crunches here, little yoga crunches. And then plant your feet, bring your hands alongside you. So you can either keep the palms pressing down, or these pistol arms or robot arms, whatever you want to call it. Pressing into your feet. They're about hip distance apart. Heels are nice and close to your hips here. Pressing down through your feet and hands, start to lift the bum up. Again, gently squeezing, perhaps drawing the thighs forward slightly, hips lifting. Here you might even tuck the shoulders under a little, lace your fingers, clasp your hands. Keep those pinkies loose here from your laced fingers. Another breath or two if you can. And then release any bind you have, slowly lower. Take your feet a little wider apart. Start the windshield wiper back and forth, dropping one knee and then the other. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Take your arms out into your cactus. Bring your knees over to one side. Perhaps turn your chin in the opposite direction. You can also straighten one leg, or you can take that hand and bring it on top of the thigh, gently pressing down. Inhale those knees back to center, let them drift over to the other side. Again, any variation you might like here. And then come back up to center. Maybe one more squeeze to the knees. And then slowly release one leg at a time down toward the corners of your mat. Let your arms come alongside you. Maybe rock your head gently from side to side. If there's another posture you prefer for your Shavasana, feel free to take it. This is your final resting pose. Get as comfy as you like. You can use a blanket either to cover you or under your knees or your shoulders or your back, a block even. So here, release any control over your breath. Just let it be soft and natural. Release any tension from your facial muscles. Relax your jaw. Soften the neck muscles. Sink your shoulders into your mat. Let the back of your heart melt into the mat. Let your hips be heavy. Let your arms and legs go loose and limp. Your belly be soft like jelly. Release any remaining tension from your body. Just let it all go. Surrender here in Shavasana. So I'll be with you for just a little while, but feel free to take the Shavasana as long as you like. Whenever you're ready, you'll gently bring your knees back into your chest. Roll over onto one side in a fetal type posture. Perhaps pause there for a moment. So Shavasana is a nice place to let all that energy that you've created, that you've circulated and channeled through your body, to be absorbed, to go where it needs to go. Chase away the tension, stress. Once you're in that fetal type posture, use your hands to guide you up to a comfortable seat and bring them in front of your heart. Anjali Mudra, the seal of gratitude. And thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.